Are you tired? Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, maybe even spiritually tired. You're doing the workouts, you're trying to stay disciplined, you're pushing, grinding, showing up, but you still feel off. What if I told you your problem isn't necessarily your mindset, it's your nervous system? And if your nervous system is fried, no amount of hustle is going to fix it. What's up, my friends? Todd Durkin here, and welcome back to the Todd Durkin IMPACT Show. I'm so excited to share with you today on a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Why? Because I don't know about you, but I feel like we are in a season, at least many around me, of major stress. A lot of folks are stressed out, and if you are feeling and experiencing stress in any way today, you're in the right place, because I'm going to talk about that today, and not only what it is and why, but what we can do about it. And it's not just working out. I want to share, as a coach, as a trainer, it's not just working out that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the complexity of stress and some specific strategies that we can do within that, so we can get our life back. Does anyone else need to get their life back and feel like they're themselves again? I always say, remember who you are and where you come from, right? Remember who you are, where you come from. Well, that's what today is all about, and I'm really excited to share with you on that. If you find value in today's show, please do me a favor. Please forward it to someone that you think could find great value in it as well. So without further ado, let's dive into today's episode right now, because I'm really excited to talk about wired and tired, why your body won't let you win. Listen, you're not lazy, and you're not unmotivated, and you're not necessarily broken. I know maybe you're thinking that you are broken, or maybe you have been broken before. Has anyone else ever been broken, or am I the only one? Anyone else? Anyone else? Good. Yeah, I know most people have probably been broken at some point, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, financially, spiritually. Maybe you have been broken, but maybe you're not completely broken right now. Maybe you're just overstressed and under-recovered. In this episode today, I'm going to break down why the real battle isn't just in your mindset. Get your mind right, but it's also in your nervous system. Because if your body is constantly stuck in fight or flight mode, you feel exhausted, you're inflamed, you feel overwhelmed, maybe you feel stuck, maybe you feel like there's no way out, no matter how hard you're working. If that's you today, then you're in the right place, because we're diving into how stress is silently sabotaging your results and maybe taking away your life, and why you feel wired, but you're tired. Heck, maybe you're exhausted. And most importantly, I want to teach you today how to reset your system. How do you reset this system so you can actually recover, you can perform better, and you can feel at your best again, or darn near close? Does anyone want to just get close to feeling great again? Anyone else? Because if you're grinding, but you're not getting the results that you desire or that you want, let this episode be your wake-up call. That's right, my friends. That's right. I want to teach you today, why is stress the number one reason why you're not recovering? What is the connection between cortisol, sleep, fat loss, and performance? What it really means to have a fried nervous system. You want to hear, hey, my nervous system is fried. Let's talk about that. Why do you feel tired and wired at the same time? How to shift from fight or flight mode, anyone in that adrenaline mode, into recovery mode, so you can actually recoup, regenerate, restore again. And maybe most importantly, the most effective recovery tools to reset your body, and even a simple recovery protocol that you can use starting right today. That's right. So here's what I want to do. I want to break this down. We got several different things I want to break down today. Number one, the real problem. What's the real problem in all of this? Well, the real problem is chronic stress. And I want to have some real talk here for a moment, because many folks today are overstressed. And maybe that's you. I know myself feeling a lot of stress in the last few months with a lot of things, including opening up where I'm at right now, Impact X Performance. It ain't easy starting a business. You go from survival mode to stability mode, and hopefully into success mode, and even into significance mode. But hey, there's all these different stresses that one could feel, and maybe it's within you, or maybe it's around you. And I've had a lot of loss in my life the last several months, a lot of lot of loss that I'm experiencing, and people around me are completely stressed as well. And I feel that, I sense that, I shoulder that. And when we live in a constant state of stimulation, like phones, computers, pressure that you're under, whether it be financial pressure, career pressure, pressure to live up to what you've always done, your schedules, like the schedules can be insane in the membrane. Here's the thing, your body doesn't know the difference between work stress, personal stress, emotional stress, heck, even sometimes physical stress. You're just stressed all the time. And your body just knows that stress is stress. And what happens is when we are stressed, especially beyond the gills, stress releases cortisol. Y'all know cortisol is a stress hormone, and cortisol can wreak havoc in the body because it's going to cause poor sleep. It's going to inflame your body. And that's not good. When we live in a constant state of inflammation, that goes all the way down into your arteries, veins, into every organ of your body. You're inflamed. It goes into your nervous system, your muscular system, and there's no recovery. And with no recovery, you get no results, because if you're not sleeping and cortisol's high and you're sleeping poorly and you're inflamed and you're short and you're not able to think through, you're not able to create what you normally like to create, well, all these things, you're like, man, I don't feel right. I don't feel like me. I don't feel great. I can't lose weight. I'm always sore. I low energy. I got brain fog. Yes, all of those things are true. All of them are. And that's the real problem, is the chronic stress that we're under. So what I'm always saying is, well, how can we reduce or even eliminate some of the stressors? What are some of the stressors in your life? And you can even think about them right now. What is currently stressing you out? And can you journal about them and write them down about, here is what is stressing me out, and here's what I can do to negate that, to minimize this potentially, or I've got to battle through this season for the next month or 3 or even 6. But many times it's the stressors that can really wreak havoc in your system. So that's number 1, is chronic stress. Number 2, wired and tired. Why you feel off? Why do you feel off? Right? Maybe you are exhausted and you can't sleep. Like, have you ever been that way where you're completely exhausted, but you're sleeping not so hot, or you're tired, but you're still anxious? And when I say anxious, I'm talking real anxiety, where you feel tingles in your legs, or you feel like your nervous system is kind of on fire, right? Like that. Or you're doing all the right things, but you're not seeing the results you want, or mentally and emotionally, you're not feeling relaxed and at rest. These are all signs that you're wired and you're tired. So you're not lacking discipline, you're just overloaded. And if you're overloaded, that's a problem that we need to address. Otherwise, ultimately, over weeks, months, and perhaps even years of time, that is going to be a negative when it comes to your overall health. So when you look at your nervous system like dysregulation, when you're in fight or flight mode, right? Fight or flight mode, that's go mode. Fight or flight is when you're constantly go, 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 go. Well, that's not a good thing if you're always in fight or flight. That's what I'm always talking about, mellow yellow time, because we got to go, no doubt about it. When you go, you got to go. But when you rest, or when it's time to rest, you got to make time to get off. That's why I say rest and digest is recovery mode. You want to rest and digest and get the time off. Many times when we're in stress mode, we don't get the time off because you're overwhelmed and you feel like you have to catch up, and we don't get that time off. So 7 days a week, weeks upon weeks, months upon months, you're not getting that recovery mode. And I've been, even earlier this year, I was aware of that. I'm like, I have to get some time off. I need that time off because it's build, 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 build. Heck, that's the theme of my year, is build. And you want to build, but you can't keep building if you never get time off to rest. And that's the problem with stress, is most people never shift out of the go mode, out of the adrenaline mode, out of the fight or flight mode. And that's something that I want you to be aware of, that if you are wired and tired, that we got to make sure we get that time off as well. Because number 3 is, you can't outwork a dysregulated system. Now, this is really important. More workouts don't necessarily mean better results when you're stressed. When you're stressed, it doesn't mean, oh, I just got to work out like a madman, or go for a long run, or I gotta get 7 days a week. Doesn't necessarily mean that. Listen, sometimes just a gratitude walk of going out for a nice simple walk and leaving your heart rate monitor at home can be very therapeutic for your body, right? More caffeine isn't better for your energy. As a matter of fact, it has been since March 21st when I actually stopped drinking coffee. I haven't had coffee since March 21st on that. Why? Because that was making me anxious. Having the coffee was making me anxious. Now, you might be thinking, no way, Todd, I'm not giving up coffee. I'm not saying that you should give up coffee. I'm just sharing my experience is when you really get to know your body and you start to feel any of these different symptoms of anxiousness, angst, anxiety, you're feeling like your nervous system is on rapid fire. Well, you got to be careful what you consume. And more hustle doesn't necessarily mean more progress. That's why we talk about being strategic and being one where you can sit down and strategize about, are you making progress to where you want to go, keeping the end in mind. Why? Because many times when you're in this fight or flight mode and you're working within a dysregulated system, you get so caught up in the rat race that you can't see beyond the forest. You can't see where you're going, and you just see all of the busyness that you're under. And this is where I'm going to challenge each of you is to take an inventory with you where you're at now. And when we think about regulating your system, we think about, are you in stress mode, or do you know someone around you who's in major stress mode? And I'm speaking from experience here, because over the course of my lifetime, there have been times where I have crossed the line of I'm too stressed. I've got too much on my plate. I need to whittle it down. I need to get back my mellow yellow time even more so I can capture that life back again, right? And hence, why I'm doing this podcast today is because in working through these moments and times, I find that right now there are so many people who are in seasons of loss. And loss, well, when you're in a season of loss, that often can cause grief, and grief is exhausting. And when you have a busy plate and you're trying to grieve and all of this is going on, well, that's going to cause its own set of problems as well. So what does the body need? What does the body need? So in number 4, I'm going to call this the shift. How do we go from stress mode to recovery mode? And this is where I really want you to pay attention. If you're in stress mode, or when you get in stress mode, how do you go into recovery mode? Because this is where you're going to be able to get through life. Because, man, I was talking, my son Brady is home from college now, and he's 21, and McKenna's getting ready to go to college. And listen, if you have kids, or you're a kid listening in, you're in your 20s or your teens, it doesn't even matter age nowadays, because it's everybody. There's a lot of stress out there. It's not easy for anyone. You could be in your 50s or 60s and you're facing stress at a monumental level. Here's what the body needs. And I want you to think about, are you getting the things that your body needs? Number 1, and most importantly, is sleep. How is your sleep? Because if you're not sleeping well, then you're not going to be able to recover. Now, truth be told, right now, as I'm recording this podcast, my beloved four-legged furry friend Jersey dog is really battling for his life. And the last almost 4 weeks, he has been not himself. He has got pancreatitis, and it's just not good. And he's been to 4 different vets. And the reason I share that is because I'm not sleeping at night, because he's agitated at night. And he's coming over to the side of my bed, and he's pawing my bed about 6 times, starting at midnight and then 2:30. And he wants me to pet him. And I'm getting up out of bed and petting him. So I've been exhausted. I've been exhausted because I want to take care of him and see what's going on and hopefully guide him through this. But, and listen, he's 12 years old now, so he's getting up there. But the point is this: if you're not sleeping, it's hard to get through the stressful times, right? So sleep is number 1. Are you getting good sleep? 2, nutrition. When you're stressed out, have you ever noticed when you're stressed out, cognitively, you know that you need to be eating well, but you don't, because you don't feel like it. I'm not hungry, or man, I just want sweets, or I just need energy. So I need, to either have more coffee, or I need to have an energy shot, whatever it may be. What the body needs is, it needs great nutrition. So you can't just fuel yourself based on feeling. Don't fuel yourself based on feeling. you got to fuel yourself based on what you know you need to do. And that's good nutrition and even supplementation. Supplementation all the way down from your vitamins, minerals. If you've had your blood work and you're under a doctor's care for whether it be peptides, hormones, you got to really stay locked in when you're in stress mode. It doesn't matter if you're not in stress mode, you still got to stay locked in. But when you're in stress mode, even more so, because you're like, I'm too busy. I don't have time for that, right? So, and lastly, when it comes to what the body needs, it also needs some stillness, some intentional recovery time. And stillness is literally sitting still and letting your mind just relax and try to unwind, because when you're on the go mode in that adrenaline fight or flight mode, your mind is working so fast. So if your body doesn't feel safe, it won't recover. It's searching for a solution. So it wants safety. It wants that, but it feels like it's kind of off homeostasis. So sleep, nutrition, supplements, stillness, and even intentional recovery are all part of the whole program when you're feeling like you're in stress mode and you need to get to recovery mode. Now, I hope right now that I'm speaking to someone, and maybe it's you are in stress mode, or you've experienced major stressors in your life, and this is how you got through it. Or if and when you're going to face a major stressor in the future, what are you going to do, and how do you make sure you stay ahead of the curve so you don't really get hit over the head with all of the stress and the many deleterious things that it can do to your body, mind, and your soul as well. So let's talk about some recovery tools, some recovery tools that you can use that are going to help you get through any tough times, because this is important. And we're using many of these, well, actually all of them, at Impact X Performance. Hence why when I built Impact X Performance, was to have a recovery suite as one portion of our business: fitness, recovery, life coaching, and faith. That's the whole Impact X Performance model. But when you think about this, number one is a sauna. Are you getting any sauna time in? Why saunas? Because saunas are important because they're going to calm the nervous system down. I like to say if you can get in 15 minutes for 160 degrees or above, this is going to be beneficial for you. And most days of the week, you want to try to get a sauna in. So if you have access at your studio, your club, or you attend a club or a gym with a sauna, or you go to a recovery studio, saunas are excellent. They're going to help reduce stress. They're going to help you with relaxation, and they're going to help you sleep better. The days I get in my sauna for 15 minutes, I like 176 or above. That's kind of where I like it, but get at least 160 or above. And you're going to ask me, well, does it matter if it's infrared or traditional heat? For me, you're getting down to the nitty gritty. I actually have a barrel sauna here, which is traditional, a traditional sauna, which I love because you actually feel the heat. It goes up to 220 degrees on that. But the bottom line is saunas can really help calm the nervous system. That's number one for that. Two, cold plunge. Cold plunge. Yes, I said it. Cold plunge. Who out there right now is cold plunging? Are you cold plunging? Yes or no? And if so, how often are you cold plunging, and when are you cold plunging? Are you cold plunging in the morning, during the day, or in the evening? Now, here's the thing with cold plunging. It builds resilience. Yes, it does. Because no one loves getting into a cold plunge for a minute or two or three, which I recommend 3. But a cold plunge is going to reset your system, your entire system, and not necessarily just your physiological system. Yep, it's going to get your psychological system. It's so good. And studies prove that cold plunging is great for depression. Cold plunging is great for your state of mind. And it's going to train your body how to handle stress better. So if you can start your day or end your day with a cold plunge, and I'm not going to get into all the should you do it in the morning, should you do it in the evening, should you do it before or after a workout. We'll save that for another podcast episode. But the bottom line is cold plunges are awesome tools for recovery. Another one that we use here at IXP are our Normatec boots, compression boots. And many of you have probably used compression boots before. If you're an athlete or have ever been an athlete, nowadays, most athletic training rooms have compression boots in them, or you go to a recovery studio like you would here at IXP, and you'll find compression boots. Awesome for reducing physical stress and soreness. It's going to help improve circulation, and it's going to help speed up recovery. So compression boots are great. Also, a hot topic today, red light therapy. Red light therapy, there's a lot of research out there that it helps support cellular repair. Cellular repair. Now, this is important because when you think about cells and the need for repair, stress is going to really negatively affect your cells of your body. And red light therapy can be one stimulus to help reduce inflammation and improve the support of your cells. It's ultimately going to enhance your overall recovery. So I want you to know this is these aren't luxuries, they're tools. And that's why I put these tools in IXP, and hopefully in your community, wherever you live around the world, that you have access to some of these tools as well. Because if you want to perform at a high level, then you have to recover at a high level as well. Just a couple more I want to mention. Massage therapy. I love massage. Repeat, I love massage. Many of you hopefully love massage therapy as well, but massage therapy has been part of my DNA for many, many years since I've been, early 20s. I went to massage therapy school when I was 25 years old down in Atlanta, Georgia. And I did massage therapy all the way to the mid 2000s. And getting to work with my hands is therapeutic unto itself. But receiving massage therapy on at least a once a month basis, I can't recommend it enough to you, is to receive massage therapy at least once a month. I recommend once a week. If you could get into a routine where you're getting massage therapy for 30, 60, or 90 minutes at least once a week, that is going to help you recover physically, mentally, emotionally on many different levels as well. And there's a lot of different types of massage therapy, but the bottom line is find a great massage therapist. A great massage therapist and body worker does wonders for your overall well-being. So get your massage, book your massages this week, and then rest. Again, I can't emphasize enough, just recovery tools is rest. Get your mellow yellow time, and it's got to be planned. If you don't plan it, it's not going to get done. So I can't recommend to you enough is to just put in, whether it's, a Saturday to Sunday, at least a Sunday, get in your mellow yellow. Maybe it's 3 days later this month you're going to take off, but get your mellow yellow time where you can mentally rest also. So the last portion I want to talk about here is just your little recovery protocol, what you can do to make it actionable, because all of these things that when you're stressed, when you're feeling stress, experiencing stress, or stress is around you, I want to make sure that you can get through this time where if you are wired and you're tired and you're feeling exhaustion, that the battle is often in your nervous system, not just in your physical system, in your body as well. And many times your body won't even let you win when it's this way. So it really takes a totality approach. So a few things for even this week. I want you to really this week dial in your recovery. So your protocol will be this. In an ideal world, here's a few things that I want to encourage you to do. Get in a sauna 2 to 3 times this week. Can you do that? Can you promise yourself you're going to get in a sauna 2 or 3 times? And if you say, but Todd, I don't have a sauna, or I don't have access to a sauna. Most places nowadays have saunas within 5 miles. There's a recovery studio in there where you can go either get stretched, you can get massage therapy, you can get sauna, you can get a cold plunge. So some of the things I want to recommend this week is 2 to 3 times this week, let's get a sauna. Get into a cold plunge. The more you cold plunge, the better. I promise you, you will feel better when you cold plunge. It's not always fun being in the cold plunge, but psychologically, you are going to feel great when you are done. Compression after your hard training sessions. Compression, again, is going to help your recovery. And if you can get in some red light therapy, whether it be a red light studio or a studio gym or health club that integrates red light therapy into it, that would be awesome. And some of the real simple things that you can do are this. Morning sunlight. Get up and get outside. Get some vitamin D. Even if it's 10 minutes, you're going out for a walk. I love 30-plus minute walks in the morning. You might be having a quiet time. You might be listening to a podcast such as this when you're out walking. But getting sunlight is so good for your body, and it's good for the recovery as well. Get in your walks. And if you are anywhere close to a beach, I want to encourage you to go to a beach and walk once a week and take your shoes off, get your feet in the sand. There's something so grounding, literally grounding, about getting your feet in the sand. And when you can connect with earth, this is going to be really good to almost recalibrate your system so you can de-stress and get back on track as well. Third thing of the just natural ways between the morning sunlight, the walks, is just breath work. Just breath work. And maybe it's box breathing. And there's many different ways to box breathe. But when you box breathe, it could be like 5-5-5 breaths. It could be 5-7-9, where you're inhaling for 5, holding for 7, exhaling for 9. But this all helps stillness. And the more stillness that you have, the better you're going to be. And then the last one I do want to emphasize again is a better sleep routine. So remember, and I've shared this before, I'll share it again, is your 3-2-1 routine. Your 3-2-1 routine is this: 3 hours before you go to sleep, eat, then don't eat again. 2 hours before you go to bed, you're going to turn off all work, all electromagnetic devices, your computers, your phones, all this. 2 hours. So if you're going to bed at, let's say, 10 p.m., by 8 o'clock, you are winding down. You've already eaten at 7. You're starting to wind down the work. And then the last hour, you are really amping up your personal self-care. This could be breath work. This could be stretching. This could be breathing and all the breath work that you're going to have. This could be reading a book. Yeah, like actually an old book, not a Kindle, but an actual book. Reading books. Getting some prayer time and getting time with your spouse. All of these are natural ways to simply recover more successfully as well. So, my friends, here's the bottom line. Listen, you don't need to do more. And I want to emphasize that today. You do not need to do more. You need to recover better. And if you're in a season right now, it is a season. If you're in a season where you're in stress and you're in stress mode, I want to really help you focus on what you can do to recover even better. Because right now, some of you are working your tail off. I get it. I am too. And maybe your body is screaming for relief. And until you learn how to reset your system, you're going to stay stuck. And I don't want you to stay stuck. I want you to recover and start to feel like you again. But the moment you start prioritizing your recovery, everything changes. So what can you do starting today as you listen to this to make sure you prioritize your recovery? And maybe you have someone else in your life that's going through a difficult season and you're like, you know what? Let's together hold each other accountable to this so that you can now start to feel better together. Or it's a son or a daughter or a spouse or a family member, it's a teammate. And then get this episode over to them, because what happens is this: your energy shifts, your energy changes. And when your energy shifts and changes, guess what? Your performance changes. Your mindset changes. You start to see the light at the end of the tunnel again. Have you ever been in a place where you can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel? I get it. And these are all different strategies that you can use to make sure that you know you can get through this. Repeat to me, I can get through this. I will get through this. But you got to keep going, and you got to remember why you're doing what you're doing. Because when you do the things you're supposed to do, your results will change. And this is a great thing, because when your results change, you change, your outlook changes, and you get your life back. So my friends, keep going. I hope this served you today. I simply wanted to share from the heart when you're in stress mode, and what you're doing with stress mode is maybe you are wired and tired. Maybe your body's not letting you win, but when you adopt some of these strategies and actually do them and you're aware of them, I promise you it will get better. So keep going, keep going, keep going. And don't just train hard. I want you to recover harder. Okay. So in ending today's episode, here's what I'm going to say. Remember, always, after each and every episode, train hard, eat right, live inspired, go create impact. And this week, I want you to train hard and I want you to recover even harder. God bless you all. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining the Todd Durkin IMPACT Show. You know I always love hearing from each and every one of you. If you are not yet part of my text community. I want to invite you to that. It's completely free. I drop some additional motivation, inspiration over there on my text community. All you have to do is this: text me. That's right. Text me on my cell phone. The number is this: 619-304-2216. That's 619-304-2216. When you text me on that number, yes, that is me. I see it, each and every text that comes through. And I would love for you to ask me questions that I can then use on the podcast or get back to you with a specific personal message from yours truly. So hop over there today. Be part of my text community. Once again, go there right now. The number is 619-304-2216.